right. All right, what's up? Apparently, I've gone live. I don't know how. Just by turning on the computer here. All right. That's fine. Check out the YouTube stream. That's working. All right, that's live as well. So, good morning, everybody. If you're watching the video of this or the live stream, doesn't matter. Morning to you. So, I'm gonna begin in just a few seconds. I woke up about 2 hours ago, and I went to lift some weights, do some stuff. So I just got in, just turned on the computer, just turned on my charts. First thing I'm gonna do is check out this dollar-yen trade, which I'm currently involved with. I went long yesterday right here on this candle. Wondering if it's clear history. I'm actually wondering if it's possible to clear the messages here. Kind of scared what this does. I'm gonna clear the all right. So I've cleared the history there. So dollar yen, dollar yen went long. I'm shooting for, this is not accurate, I'm shooting for targets somewhere around here. I'm gonna be managing this as we go on here. So moving my stops accordingly. So if you're wondering why I went long here, it's just a simple breakout, drop down to the previous structure, support, got this pin bar candle, and went long from there. I am pretty sure that it's not going to be a smooth ride up to targets. I'm thinking I'll be taking targets around the 103 even. So depending on how the market will move, how I'm going to move my stops. And that's about where these two guys line up here, the resistance and the support. So that's the dollar yen. The dollar yen. We can take, of course, as well, Fibonacci extension tool. Talking to the dog. Pet the dog here. Yeah, I haven't checked out the sound, if the sound is working. Pet the dog here. All right, that's working. So yeah, I'm shooting for at least 1618 right here on the Fibonacci extension. Hopefully a little more, just so I can make my risk to reward work out with a 2-to-1. So about here around the 1300, 12, 102, 98. It's going to be my ultimate extension. But like I said, I'll be moving this accordingly. I'm not a big believer of a much larger. I mean, we could be going up for a larger move. I'm just saying that I'm not comfortable shooting for targets much higher than this. Yeah, I'm gonna share that I'm live here. Share this. Posting to Facebook. I'll post to Twitter as well. Not that big into the hashtags. I don't really know if that works or not to gain more exposure. It's August the 8th. Gotta change the name here on. Actually, I could do it just straight from Restream, I think. Well, it doesn't matter. So I think I'm gonna be pretty I'm gonna go over the portfolio pretty quickly. Not much has changed. I believe during this Asia session on the Euro USD, I'm still looking for that push to the upside here. Whether that's going to happen, it's a different story. But I don't see anything on the euro that interests me right now. So it's probably going to be much of the same here on these bigger time frames. You can see that the pound dollar, we are heading down here into my buy zone still. Some ways from it though. And we could be getting a trend line formation here if the market's gonna not a trend line formation, a channel formation would be a better word, I think. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe forming a range or a channel or whatever you want to call it. So I will be waiting for the breakout here for either side. I mean, I'm not fixated on this level right here. I mean, if we break to the upside, we break to the upside, and then I couldn't consider doing something else. It's just started yesterday to give myself a broad overview here on the pound. Dollar yen, we've gone over that. I'm currently involved in that trade, hoping for a push to the upside here. Probably gonna get a small pullback here, and then if we're gonna push higher, we'll do so from there. We are getting since we got the break here, we are getting the support from here. So hopefully we're going to be trending beautifully to the upside on the dollar yen. Pound yen. Talked about this yesterday as well. Finally got the clear break to the upside here. I'm still going to be watching out for this level for a short, or a possible short. Not sure that I'll get I'm not sure that I'll ever be involved in this, just because of the risk reward, and I kind of see it. I kind of see that I probably won't get the opportunity, but I mean, we got a harmonic move here, or is it maybe ZD? Yeah, it's just a harmonic move up into this top of this green area, or the greener one. Of course, if you look left, we have some structure to go along with it. So not a bad opportunity for a short here on pound yen. Not bad at all. Just what concerns me is the risk reward here. The ATR on the pound yen is relatively high, nothing ridiculous though. It's about 30 pips right now. Nothing like we saw during the Brexit, where it went up to 120 pips. The average euro yen, similar things around these yen pairs. They're all pushing to the upside. I'm gonna be a little concerned about this. Not concerned, but this will be an opportunity for a short as well. All the things are on those yen pairs. Everything is kind of indicating a short here after some push to the upside. The thing that I'm hoping for is that we'll be able to get some profits before and if we're gonna continue to the downside here, or at least continue, maybe not to the downside, but I'm sure there is gonna be some struggle between the bears and bulls around these areas. So hopefully I'll be able to get some profits before that happens. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar, or the Kiwi. Just got the break here. Break below, close below right here. We are getting the pullback right here. So a trend continuation to the downside is a possibility. I'm actually quite interested in this, in a short here. The problem is there's nothing really that is screaming at me to go short. The risk to reward is pretty good if I'm gonna shoot for these lows right here. $18, I might as well go above this right here. 16, that's 28. Something like this. More than a 2-to-1 risk reward, which is nice. Some structure here on this white line. May need to get a bigger perspective of this. I mean, I do like it. I would want to see something else here, a little more than 2 dojis. As an indication that the market is gonna want to go lower, and I can't really ignore this pin bar right here as well. Just shooting for targets. Excuse me. This would be a more conservative target to shoot for. I mean, I could trade it, shoot for a break even down here. But I want to see something a little more here. Dollar cat. The interesting push to the upside during the non-farms. It did make a double top here. Then you can argue if it's a double top or not. I would really want to see for it to be a double top. I mean, most of the time I want to see a move, a pullback, and then maybe a double top. It's just the one move here. I mean, of course, we do break these two highs, these three, this one. So maybe technically it is double top. Technically speaking. On the lower time frames, we are forming this trend line here. See, we've started to. I mean, we're not breaking this. We're not breaking this just of yet. We're still holding this area here. So this might just end up being a flag pattern to the upside as well. If I were to go short here, I'm gonna want to see a break. Probably gonna push to here. Something like this. But then again, this is probably a strong support area, so I'm not that confident in the market breaking this. We could just go down to here and then continue up. That is also a possibility. That's also a possibility. But we'll see what happens here. If I can find something to trade. I mean, if we break this this guy right here and get a pullback to the upside, this would be a much better short. We could hide our stops above these highs right here. We will get a strong resistance from these levels, and I would feel comfortable shooting for targets down at the lows here. So if we set it up hypothetically in a hypothetical scenario, I could shoot for targets down in here. The ATR is pretty good. 13 above this, so 29. Let's say 30. Pretty good risk to reward. More than a 3-to-1. Well, this would be a scenario I will be looking for. I really want to see a break of this support level before going short. I think that we may have some problems here. But if we do break to the downside, this is probably going to be a nice short right here. So I'm setting the dollar CAD on my radar. Sorry about that. So interested in this one. The infamous Aussie cat. The infamous Aussie cat. Got the break here. This flag pattern. Now it's just a matter of breaking this high. See if we're going to continue higher. I would not consider this a double top here, since we touched the 38th, which is indicating a strong trend. So I think that this can go higher here. So not a bad trade setup we set up yesterday. I'm sorry about that. I'm really tired. I'm gonna have to take a nap. But yeah, not a lot of movement in the Asia session. The last few hours has kind of been slow but steady, going higher on some of these pairs. We're not gonna get a pattern in here. So the Aussie dollar you can see as well. Imagine if we have taken all these trades yesterday. Most of this is going our way. I mean, not most. Everything is going our way here. We can move this trend line to this, make it more accurate. You can see that the market is respecting this trend line. We are starting to see it better on the 15 or the 5. No, it's not the best looking wedge pattern. We can draw these lines in here though. See the resistance. Don't get a pattern formation in here since we exceed the A here, the A leg or the X to A leg. So yeah, not much has happened since yesterday. Most of these trades are going my way, the way I set it up here. That doesn't mean that it can't turn. I'm mostly going to be interested in this dollar cat for the next probably couple of days. See how this turns out on the long term. Jesus. And this New Zealand dollar trade as well. See if I want to see something more, just a little something. Something more than these rows of doji candles here. But we can't. There can't be too much movement to the downside here to mess up the risk reward here. So I would preferably want a doji here that stands a little bit out from these other candles. As you can see, there's not much that can be tampered with here in order to make this risk reward be better than 1-to-1. It's just a little better than 1-to-1. Just under 1.5-to-1. Sorry about that. But still, I do like this setup. And I would actually not mind if we got a little higher here. That would be okay as well. Maybe get the RSI into the overbought conditions. That would actually not. That would only make my risk to reward better. So I'm not gonna mind if the market's gonna push a little higher here. See what happens around this resistance area. Then again, I'm not going to be shocked either if we continue lower here as well. So the thing I'm most interested in today is the dollar CAD, the New Zealand dollar, and of course the euro dollar if we can get the push to the upside on this bat pattern. But we're 60 pips or so from the completion of this pattern. And we've yet to break the BLAC here, so this may be a little premature just to be thinking about this on the euro dollar. So I think I might thinking about maybe streaming again later on if something happens in the market, maybe in about 2, 3, 4 hours. But I'm really just pretty tired. The analysis we did yesterday still holds, still holding on here. I'm long on the dollar yen as of right now, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we'll get some profit out of this one. That would be an excellent start to the week. If I can take 80 to 100 pips out of the market here on this dollar yen trade. Sorry. But then again, not going to be shocked. Not going to be shocked if we drop to if we continue lower here. But that's just my counter trend instincts screaming at me that this is the area that will go. The market's gonna continue to the downside here. Do we get a... No. Thinking about if we got a bat pattern in here. But shooting for the tops here of this white line isn't, and even a little bit higher isn't that far-fetched. I mean, we did bottom out here from the previous bottoms here, from the Brexit, and then again from right here. Not quite hitting the same lows, but from there we have started to make higher highs and higher lows. We have yet to put in the pullback. So essentially we could pull back until this area and still be valid for a trend continuation to the upside. That's a little more than I'll handle risk-wise, but this could be another opportunity for if I get stopped out right here, I could try again if the market dips into these lows here once more. I think there's a lot of Not a lot of. There is some pressure here to the upside, as you can see from right here. See how the market just went straight up from there. So we'll see what happens here on the pound yen. Now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take a nap. Did not get that much sleep yesterday. I only slept for like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm gonna take a nap here. Maybe I'll stream again today, later today. Who knows? Depending on something happens in the market and if I'm up for it. But if not later today or tonight, most definitely tomorrow. Probably around the same time, maybe a little later. But you can just follow me on Twitch or subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook or Twitter, whatever. I'll share when I go live. All right. So happy Monday to you, and I'll see you in the next one.